Most people imagine their perfect turkey hunt being over by 8 in the morning. Gobblers are just screaming their heads off on the roost. They fly down right into your setup. They start beating up your decoys, and then they give you an easy 20-yard shot. But most of the time, that's just not how it works. You either get way too close trying to make that happen, or the birds, they just don't cooperate. They fly down and go the opposite direction. And so a lot of hunters would just pack it up around 9 or 9:30, go back to the house, eat some breakfast, take a nap. But they could be missing out on some very productive hunting. It's just not quite how you imagined it. So in this video, we're gonna go over 3 tips to hunting turkeys during the middle of the day. But before we go over these tips, do me a favor, and if this is your first time on my channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And the first tip to hunting midday gobblers is to know the turkey's core areas. Now, hopefully you have done some scouting and you know where the food sources are, where the strut zones are, where the cover is, and you found some fresh sign. If you find all this stuff, that is a good indication that you're at least very close to the turkey's core use areas. This information will be vital when the turkeys just run away from you after going down from the roost. So around 9 o'clock, unless you are hearing gobblers off somewhere, go to these core areas and then set up for the long haul. Either get in a blind or find a very comfortable tree to lean up against, a quiet snack, something to drink, and then just wait them out. So if you are truly in the turkey's core areas, they will come around. It's just a matter of time. And one of the most important things about making sure you're sitting there for the long haul is to make sure you've got a comfortable spot. And the most important part of that is making sure you have something comfortable to sit on. Now, I had a hard time with my turkey vest this year because the seat on it is just way too thin. I don't even know, well, actually I got it right here. Oh, duh, it's Redhead brand. Normally, I really like the Redhead brand because they're affordable hunting clothing, no fancy name brands you got to pay for. But I think next year I'm going to have to break down and get a more, I don't know, a fancier turkey vest to make sure I've got something thick to sit on. I mean, look how thin that seat is, and it just really squishes down. Now, I've got a bony butt. There's not much padding there, so my butt would start to hurt and my legs would go numb, and it would get so uncomfortable that I'd be fidgeting around. I'd even have to stand up just to get some blood flow back into my feet. And obviously, you don't want to be moving around, fidgeting all the time when you're trying to turkey hunt. So invest in a good turkey vest. Yeah. That's got a good, thick, comfortable seat so you can make sure that you're going to be sitting there for the long haul. You do not want to leave before quitting time. And the second tip for hunting a midday turkey is to keep your calling subtle. During the midday, toms are more likely to be silent and then just slip in to investigate your calling. They're not going to be screaming their heads off every time you let out a little yelp. Now, that doesn't mean that some don't. I mean, they're all individuals and will do different things. Like I said, they are more likely to be silent as the hens have moved off to nest. Those toms are lonely, wandering around looking for another hen that they can spend some time around. So if you are set up in a good spot, keep your calls a little more subtle and spread that calling sequence out about 20 minutes or so. And that'll keep you from blowing the ears off a tom that has moved in silently. Now, if you absolutely get tired of waiting, I mean, we all do get a little impatient, you can do some trolling. Get up on a ridge top, but not where you'll be skylined, and break out that box call so you can reach out a little bit. But do not use that call unless you have a spot picked out to where you can go to when you get a response, or if you get a response, because during the midday, if you get a response from a tom, a lot of times he's going to come in pretty quick. So you want to make sure that you're set up and you don't get caught off guard. And the third midday turkey hunting tip is you just got to make sure that you're out there. One thing I've learned from watching Dale's Outdoors YouTube videos, if you haven't watched any of his turkey hunting videos, you definitely should give them a watch. They're a valuable resource for learning more about turkey hunting, is that he calls the hours of 10, 11, and 12 the golden hours. Now, I could be wrong, but I kind of get the impression that he likes to hunt during this time more often than right off the roost. Now, like I said, it could be wrong. Right off the roost is a very exciting time. Those turkeys are definitely a lot more vocal during the midday, but it seems like he has a lot more success during those times. And to be honest, I keep hearing more and more that there are a lot of turkey hunters out there that have or tend to have more success after 9 o'clock, and they also tend to be some very experienced turkey hunters. And on the flip side, I keep hearing, and it tends to be from more inexperienced or newer turkey hunters, that if for whatever reason, they don't get up at first light. They miss their alarm, or they've got something going on early in the morning and they just can't get out there, that they'll just skip turkey hunting for that day, and that is a huge mistake. No matter what time it is, you can get on birds if you've got knowledge of the area and you've got decent enough woodsmanship that you can get set up quietly. So if you miss that alarm, or if you've got something going on in the morning, or you just feel like getting a little extra sleep, I mean, sometimes getting up before the sunrise, day after day, if you do a lot of turkey hunting, can get exhausting. So if you just want to get a little extra shut-eye in, don't skip that day altogether. The most important part of turkey hunting is just being out there. I always say it, patience kills more birds than anything else. So just because you didn't get out there at first light, that doesn't mean the turkeys aren't going to be out there. So even if you can't get out into the woods until 9 o'clock, you still have a great chance of killing a turkey. So that was 3 tips to hunting turkeys during the middle of the day. If you have any more midday turkey hunting tips, make sure you leave those down in the comments below. And hit that like button if you like this video, share it if you found it helpful, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can stay informed.